If you're like most of the people that I work with in my private wellness practice, you've probably noticed a pattern around your healthful resolve. When you're at home alone, it's totally easy to maintain a healthy dietary pattern. But the second we get invited to that party or that celebration of any kind, we fall off the wagon time and time again. And then it's always more difficult to get back on your healthy diet plan after these occasions. So I have recently been studying Change Anything by 5 amazing researchers that have focused their work on the science of personal success. So this is going to be the first of 3 videos in this series that discusses the exact skills and strategies that people can incorporate into changing any habit, really. But I'll be particularly focusing on dietary changes. And I'm going to show you that you can actually make peer pressure work for you and your healthful resolve instead of against you time and time again. So according to the researchers, there are 5 major tactics that you can use to your advantage to overcome the complications of social influence. So first and foremost, that would be know who's a friend and who's an accomplice. I will also be discussing how to redefine normal. So that would be tactic number 2. And then in the next video, I'm going to focus specifically on the 3rd tactic, which is how to hold a transformation conversation with the individuals in your life that are more often than not causing a barrier to your success. In the 3rd and final video, I'll be discussing how to add new friends to improve your chances of success and how to distance yourself from the unwilling or people who are maybe causing a detriment to your success. All right, so let's get started on the first tactic, which is, again, knowing who's a friend and who's an accomplice. Friends help keep you on the road to health, happiness, and success, while accomplices do the opposite. They enable and encourage you to behave in unwise or unhealthful ways to lower your aspirations. Now, I'm sure you can think of a few people in your life that this already entails. So with these accomplices, it's not about having bad intentions, it's about exerting bad influence. Some people may actually be currently justifying their poor behavior habits based on your behavior. So when you change your trajectory, they have lost that accomplice and now no longer have that justification to continue their bad habits. So that may or may not be the case, but in most cases, that's what tends to happen. They basically enjoy sharing our weaknesses. But this is very detrimental because peers not only help to determine what is considered normal, which we'll talk about in a moment, but also what is possible for us, what we build our aspirations around. If all we know is people who are diving into Taco Bell and Burger King on their way home every day, it would seem perfectly logical for us to do the same thing. But that is not an obligation, and I will teach you exactly how to change that mindset. So the first thing you want to do is obviously build awareness, trying to figure out who the heck is an accomplice and who is a true friend. So you'll be taking a brief inventory. You'll figure out who will speak up if you fail to follow the healthy norms that have been established by you and your group or your network. Who will blow a whistle when you begin playing by new healthful rules? So when you start making healthier decisions that are very much against the status quo. And lastly, you want to think about who do you worry about disappointing or receiving criticism from? These are your accomplices. We all have those certain acquaintances or friends or so-called friends that when we start doing something a little differently, they always have something to say about it, and it's not always the most positive or encouraging words. So I didn't want to move forward before talking about the other end of the spectrum. So yes, we do have those accomplices that kind of encourage our poor behaviors, but we also have friends and cheerleaders and coaches and fans in our corner that are ready to cheer us on and help us move more toward our goals and continue habits that align with those goals. So when distinguishing who are the friends, the coaches, and the fans, according to the authors, these individuals model good choices, they speak up, they offer advice, and they cheer us on. So think about the last time that you went to grab a greasy slice of pizza at some kind of social event and your friend actually said, hey, wait a minute, aren't you trying that plant-based thing right now? Isn't that kind of something that you're interested in and something that's kind of important to you right now? Those are your true friends, and those are the ones you want to keep around. Now, coaches are really helpful because they help to provide another element of accountability, support, and guidance. So I love working with people on this issue because there is nothing more empowering than feeling in control of our health destiny and figuring out exactly how to stick with this healthful resolve. So by all means, if you do feel that you need some one-on-one support, please click the link in the description box below and we can schedule a free clarity consultation and perhaps work together on this long-winded issue. So some other positive influences you can think about are your fans, who are typically people on social media who are always liking your posts or giving encouragement maybe more subtly than friends would. And then friends are people who speak up and encourage you regardless of their beliefs. That is so important. I know exactly who my close friends are because regardless of how they feel internally, they know that when something is important to me, they're going to focus on that instead of trying to enforce their beliefs onto me and change my mind about something that I'm currently pursuing. And they never let their poor habits impact my aspirations to improve my habits. That's a big distinguisher. So the second tactic and the last tactic we will be discussing in this particular video is redefining normal. We have a certain reference point around what is considered acceptable in our society, and especially around the set of friends that we've actually subconsciously organized to maintain whatever habits that we are carrying out at the moment. So just think about how you've lived your life up to this point. Everybody around you that you spend the most time with is very familiar with certain patterns and certain expectations that you all hold as a collective group. So trying to suddenly shift and do something outside of those norms is going to be very uncomfortable for a little while, but if those people remain in your life, it will soon become the new norm. Or you can open doors and allow for new friends, coaches, and fans to come back into your life. So to change your current sense of normalcy, first of all, you want to stop making external comparisons. You need to rise above what you see going on around you. Rise above the shared sense of what is common or acceptable. All you have to do is ask yourself these two super important questions. Who do I want to be? And how do I want to live and feel? Once you have that figured out, it's very easy to stick with your initial goal and to remain steadfast regardless of what's going on around you and what's going on in your social circle. Just keep in mind, no matter what other people are doing, that doesn't have to be your norm. If you want something bigger and better for yourself, if you want long-term health and vibrant longevity, then go for it. You don't have to maintain the status quo simply because that's all you know and that's all anyone around you is doing. Do what's best for you in your lifetime because you truly only get one. Utilize this time to the best of your ability and in the way that you have always envisioned for yourself, instead of just following along what everybody else is doing simply because it's the easy way out. Yes, this is going to be a little challenging, but it's so worth it when you think about the big spectrum of your lifetime and all the things that you'd be missing out on had you not gone through with this process. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first section of this 3-video series. I will see you next week with the second portion on having a transformation conversation with your accomplices. There are some unbelievable takeaways from that video. So I hope you guys will join me and I will see you in the next one.